Hello guys, there JusticeFriendsBlog, yeah? How are you all doing today? Good, I hope. Great. This is FuYoMama. We're here with our wacky buddies and pals of ours.
My name is Under the Walrus. You may know me from that hit TV show WWE, which stands for World with Epicness.
Well, it would be World Walrus Entertainment.
Exactly, yes. Fuyo. Thank you for that. It's because I have amnesia because I was recording that TV show, but I ended up falling on my face and I sort of died. But then Fuyo here was able to bring me back to life with the Senzu beam.
I'm like a Pikachu. Whenever I cry, I bring you back to life. Anyways, and the other one here is
RockedSolid,
herp-a-derp. Now, we here at JusticeFriendsBlogs have been LPing for different amounts of time. I've been LPing for probably about 6 months. Andre has been LPing for about a year now, a year and a half, and Rocky is up
2 years.
2 years, and so is Rocky. It's also up to 2 years.
Well, technically 3 years.
And,
if you really but yes, 2 years if you really think about it. Yes.
And while we are not experts on the matter of LPing, I figured that we figured that it would not hurt the matter to go and just offer any words of wisdom that we could about the subject. So without further ado, Here's the JFB's thoughts on how to not be poopy on LPing.
A quick explanation. Victor, our good friend and one of the more intellectual people in this call, has been grounded for a month. So we will
at this current moment in time, at least. Yeah,
yes.
At the current moment.
And also, I have a breakthrough. You all may remember Mushroom Juggler from like 2 podcasts that he did with us. Well, I have been speaking of him signing a new contract with
the JFB label.
Yes.
Why did no one tell me about this beforehand?
Nobody told me. Don't worry.
Whatever.
I wanted it to be a surprise for when he got online. But he will get online. I still have faith. Very little.
Let's not tell that to the audience, shall we? Anyways, so without further ado...
Ryan, please come back. I miss you.
Exactly.
Yes, we do miss you.
So, thoughts on LPing. Guys, first things first, let's go in the steps of how you do LPing. The first thing typically is getting the technology. Now, what would you guys suggest in terms of Let's Playing? In terms of the tech?
Well, I would say that a Dazzle is more or less obligation, because whether it be a crappy Dazzle or an HD PVR, the Dazzle ends up becoming your best friend, because most of the games that are new, that's going to be something different, something original that people haven't seen before, are going to be console games, because games from like the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation 1, that's stuff that has been done and overdone. But unless you don't have the money for a Dazzle, which is the biggest probability, I would say using Fraps or Camtasia. And to start editing, do not use Movie Maker. I don't like Movie Maker for me because it's way too...
Hey, you used it, alright, when you started your career, bro.
Hey, I used it when I was doing vlogs, in which the only thing I had to do was render, and that was because I was like...
Hey, you did Galaxy 2 with a Movie Maker, did you not?
Anyways,
no.
Enough of Andre contradicting himself.
Shut up.
So overall, you suggest, and in terms of audio, what do you suggest in terms of recording with audio of your voice?
A lot of people say Audacity. I say no. Because, well, I don't really like Audacity. Never really been much of a fan of Audacity.
I actually like Audacity, but that's when it comes to
me and Andre are contradicting almost everything that he's saying, so that'll be for later.
No.
Finish up, Andre.
Because
feel free.
For me, I don't like Audacity. I think it's something too complex to use for recording just your audio. Something that something like Fraps and Camtasia come with, and it already has good quality in Fraps and Camtasia. To me, Fraps has incredibly good quality for you to record. And not only that, Camtasia and Fraps both allow the option of you recording the audio of, if you're in a Skype call, so you don't have to use other stuff like Pamela, which is what we're using.
But that doesn't come with voice narration per se. That comes with a whole nother program. So I'm talking solely about you recording your voice. And with that, frankly, Audacity, I've used other programs before.
Yeah. Only recording the voice, Audacity, no doubt.
Yeah, that's my opinion. And people do say it crashes sometimes. I'm okay with it. Rocky, your opinions on the technological side of things?
Alright, so for recording, Walrus pretty much said I would recommend using either Fraps or Camtasia for editing. If you're only starting out, you have no experience with editing whatsoever, use Movie Maker. And over time, once you get better at it, you try your best and reach for the stars. Try using Camtasia or Sony Vegas, though. Be warned that Sony Vegas is a bit more complex, unless you've fully mastered the entire program itself. Walrus, though, when he used to edit, what was that? What was that editing software that you used to use before, Walrus, before you got Sony Vegas?
Before I got into Let's Plays?
No. Like, it was like somewhere, like before you got Sony Vegas. It was in between Sony Vegas. Yeah,
Cyberlink Power Director. It's actually something. It's more basic, but it's actually very good. It's very user friendly. But frankly, something that I'm using, which is a little less, it's a little less, wow, like razzle dazzle than Sony Vegas is Cam Studio, which is something very user friendly, and not only that, it gets the job done. Better than you could expect, and it has everything that you need to record gameplay.
Okay.
So, I think Cam Studio to me would be the best editing software for you to use.
Did you mean Camtasia?
Yeah, that's what he said. Oh yeah, he screwed
Cam
up.
Cam Studio, Camtasia, they're both the same thing.
No, they're not. They're quite different.
But okay, yeah.
That I guess in terms of audio, you suggest Audacity as well.
No, when I record my console stuff, to be perfectly honest, I use something totally different. I use basically, the narrate time feature in Windows Movie Maker. Yeah, I use that to capture my narration.
I hear a lot of people use that. I've heard.
Yeah, Josh Jepson used to use that, and then he switched to Audacity. But I prefer using, Windows Movie Maker because it's something more simpler. It doesn't crash as much as Audacity. But they actually did fix the bugs in that. They made the new Audacity Beta 1.3 or something like that. That doesn't crash apparently.
Yeah, with me, I guess I'm gonna be the only one who suggests Audacity. I'm gonna actually start out first things first and say that I don't, as a person who doesn't use a Dazzle, who doesn't have a HD PVR, or uses a Diamond VC500. Frankly, I would actually suggest if you really want to, and if you can do it correctly, try a camcorder. You're gonna say, "Whoa, what?" And I would understand that. But my idea here is that with LPing, it should be a lot more about the commentary. I don't want to sit there and say, well, my thing's in HD, so it's better than yours. I don't like that. I'm saying, is the commentary is good? And if it is, then go for it. And if you think that you can make a quality video and entertain people, and not make their eyes bleed as they're watching the video, and you can do that with a camcorder, go for it. I mean, I had Red Yoshi, while his commentary made me want to cry. His camcorder, actually... Wow. I couldn't really tell the difference between the camcorder and the actual capture card. I mean, there was a slight difference, but it was okay. I'm actually a pretty... myself, am actually a pretty good example of this. Since, when I first started doing Let's Plays, my first Let's Play, for those of you who don't know, was Super Mario Galaxy 1. And I recorded it with a camcorder, and, the quality wasn't, the best thing in the world, but it got the job done. And it
was better than
a lot of
cameras.
cases. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty good, and it was a basic camera. It was like
digital camera.
Yeah, it was like a digital camera. It was like 5 megapixels. Today we have cell phones that are 8 megapixels.
So there,
so practically, and if you really take a look at it, you can also LP with an iPhone, dude. They improve the video quality so it's much more clear. Oh, hell, people are even doing vlogs with iPhones nowadays, is why that's how much of it's improved.
But the quality isn't as good as using a camera. I mean, but there is that line, as in, if you have a camera available to you, probably use the camera over the iPhone. That's just my opinion. Unless it's like a dinosaur camera.
If it's a dinosaur camera, then yeah. And if your only option for a camera is an iPhone, I would try using that. I mean, seriously, iPhones, like the microphone quality, you would think would be shit. Like, you know, if you use it as a phone and all that, but it's actually pretty clear. No offense.
And also, in terms of audio, I'll have to go with Audacity. Like I said, I got the beta. Has not crashed for me. I don't understand why you guys say it so hard. It's as simple as in record, save as, export. I mean, it's not that hard for me. Maybe this is the older versions were a lot more complex. But other than that, I would definitely suggest Camtasia. If you are using a diamond like me, it makes it far easier because you can then get full HD video with a diamond, which is amazing. So that's cool. And I guess this brings us to the next point of conversation, and probably what's going to be the meat and potatoes of the discussion here. That is the commentary side of it. Many people have many different sides of commentary. I guess we're going to go with Rocky.
Alright, since Walrus went first last time. Alright. In my opinion, commentary should, as spoken from experience, commentary should include people who basically, sound excited, they're really enthusiastic, and if they talk a lot about the game, that's also just as good, but, you also gotta mix it up a little bit between something personal and, like, if you feel like talking about it, of course, something personal and something energetic and the game, pretty much. That's just what my commentary is made off, so, yeah.
Something that Nintendo Capri Sun said during his Super Mario Sunshine LP, which I respect a lot, and I think makes perfect sense, is, you can never do a Let's Play thinking of your next one. Like, let's say you're doing a Let's Play of, I don't know, Super Mario 64, but you really want to do your next Let's Play, which is, say, I don't know, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. You can't do the commentary, you can't play the game wanting to just finish it, because your commentary is going to end up being dull. It's going to be like you want to rush it.
It's going to be all like, yeah, exactly, rushed commentary. That is not the good type of commentary that I would like to listen to.
Mm-hmm. And I think that, I guess I'll just go next. Well, obviously, do you have more to say, Rocky? Sorry.
Oh yeah, besides that, another thing is that you need to at least try your best. Don't be too quiet, don't be shy, nobody's looking at you, you're just by yourself in your room. It just depends if you're like with anybody else while doing the recording. Just feel comfortable, and also it's also good practice for if you really do presentations in front of your whole entire classmates and all that. It's actually pretty good as well, which is what I had to do today.
It's incredibly
good practice.
In terms of that, I personally have had to do presentations since then, and with LPing, I talk incredibly fast for a speech, so I have to slow myself down a lot. But
yeah, and you, of course, you show like you also grow a pair of balls.
But in terms
because
of
you don't get scared.
Yeah, but in terms of commentary, I understand how to speak and keep it more interesting. I know how to not focus on one thing so often. I've learned. LPing has actually helped me as a person, which is amazing to say. Anyways, is that all I have to say, Rocky, or is?
Anything else before I actually have to end my part of the segment? The other thing that would be also good is that, you try your best to be entertaining. Don't be boring. Just don't be bland. Don't be trying to copy anybody else. You have to find your own individual flavor in order to, attract your own audience. You gotta have your own individual flavor, not try to be a ripoff of somebody else. Otherwise, people are either gonna, one, criticize you upon it, or two, they're just not gonna watch at all.
Mm-hmm. And, okay, and I guess if it's okay with you, Walrus, I would like to go next.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. It's all you.
Well, I think my first point is actually a direct continuation of Rocky's last point. Be yourself. No one wants to see another Nintendo Capri Sun, because we have Nintendo Capri Sun, and he is who he is. No one wants to see a new Chugga Conroy, because he is Chugga Conroy. No one wants to see a new whoever. They want to see a new person. They want to see the new thing. And
something fresh,
They want... And people say, I don't have really much to say, and if you don't, then sit there and just... It's hard when you start LPing. It's hard to get the full 10 minutes of commentary.
If you don't, if you don't, there's certain requirements also to being a Let's Player who does commentary, obviously, and that is, you gotta be exciting. If you're just gonna sit there and then start playing a game and then not even talk the entire time you do the entire recording, then why become a Let's Player at all? And I mean, seriously, it's all about communication.
But you don't sit there and say, well, if you're not good already, don't start it. I mean, I don't agree with that. I mean, it's your opinion, obviously, but I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I say
no,
is, if you
like Fuya, what I'm saying is, if you're not the best at, if you're not the best at talking, you got to practice a little bit, and once you get the hang of it, then you'll be ready and comfortable enough to do your commentary. But if you're just gonna do whatever you feel like in the video and just like not even put any effort whatsoever, then don't. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Always ask yourself before you upload the video, would I want to see this myself? Don't sit there and just go, let's see, audio, video, send it to YouTube. Don't do that. Watch the video yourself. Say, is this entertaining? And if it's not, just do it over. I mean, frankly, it's really easy to do it with things like emulators. And one thing I've always suggested to people, because a few people have asked me, is that if you start out and you don't know what to say, you're not sure on how to open up yourself, because opening up is something that some people have a lot of trouble doing. Go and choose a game that is easier. Well, I don't know if I want to say it. It's a game that's a lot more action-packed. Choose a Mario game. Choose a 3D platformer. Don't go with an RPG for your first LP unless you think that you know it up one side, down the other, are naturally gifted in LPing. Just do a game where you can sit there, and eventually it will come. As time passes, you will get better at it. Don't let anyone tell you that you're a crappy LPer, because you can improve and prove them wrong. That's what you should do. And in terms of commentary, also, be sure to keep 10 minutes of commentary. Definitely necessary. If you know the awkward pauses, they pull the viewer out of the video. They pull them out. They're like, yeah, I forgot. I'm watching a guy playing a video game. I'm watching a guy from the outside watching a guy playing a video game. And he was trying to entertain me. The best kind of LPer, in my opinion, is the LPer that makes you feel like he's sitting beside you on a couch, and you're sitting there, you're having an interaction. Like, those are like probably the biggest LPers out there, besides, well, in my opinion, and just in terms of me, is Chugga and NCS. And both of those guys are very good at making you feel like, well, this is what I think about this. This is what I think about this of the gameplay. They're not sitting there going and just like, yeah. So, what are you doing? And like in the way I commentate, and I think this is just judging from these guys, is a direct continuation of how I talk to regular people. As in, I never shut up, as you can tell from what I'm doing right now. But that's just how I am. And I'm not trying to change myself to be something other than that. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. But you know what? I enjoy doing it. And that's all. That's probably the number one piece of advice you would give. Have fun. Don't feel like, and that's what Rocky says. Rocky says, don't think, oh no, Andre said that, sorry. Don't think about the next LP, think about the now. And listen, if you're not enjoying an LP, if you're sitting there saying, listen man, I am tired of this, I don't want to do this, I have a better idea. I can do this way better, drop the LP.
Something that you should always do is have an interaction with your audience. Like, ask them questions, what they think. Like, what is their opinion on your LP? Go like, oh, what do you guys think of this Let's Play? Oh, what do you think of, like, this section of the game? Oh, like, make votes. Make, like, voting sections. Like, oh, do you want me to go through door A or door B? Vote now. Next video, I will count the votes. Blah, blah. Interact. Mm-hmm. The audience will love to interact with you, whether it be trolls or not.
That is an incredibly valid point, Andre. One of the big innovations of YouTube is that you do have this interaction between player and, or whatever, just creator and viewer. Because in YouTube, I can make video in a day and upload it. But on a TV show, it takes a good 2 months to get prepared. So we can sit there and we can do stuff like that. So take advantage of the medium that we're using. We're using YouTube. Take advantage of the opportunities that YouTube gives you that other mediums don't.
And another thing, you can never go into YouTube starting a Let's Play going like, oh, I'm going to start this Let's Play, I'm going to get like 1,000 subscribers on the first video. Don't go in like that. You got to go in thinking, oh, if I get 10 subscribers, I'm good, or you got to make it more like an objective for you. Like, oh, I want to get like 10 views on my first ever video, or I want to get 100 views on my first ever video. Make objectives. I don't know, tongue twisters. Damn it! And just try to accomplish them the best way you think you can, whether it be entertainment, information, anything. What you feel you're good at, not what you feel the people want to watch, but what you're good at. Because if you're good at it, it's going to be entertaining, no matter what it is. But if it's something that you're just doing to get the views, but you don't even know jack shit about, it's gonna be shit.
And Andre, and if it's okay with you, you brought up two very good points there. The first of which is that people, it doesn't matter what it is, people will be interested in it. I mean, like I was sitting there using this as an example a few minutes ago before we started recording. I was talking to this guy. Oh, I wasn't talking to this guy. But I sit there and I saw this guy who does magic tricks for a video. He has 4,000 subscribers. You're saying that's not a lot, but for magic trick videos, it's a surprising number. Because the internet, and this is something I've learned from talking to all these people from different. Andre lives in one continent. Rocky lives basically closer to Asia than he does to the North America. And I've talked to other people from other continents too. I've learned that as a whole, people aren't that different. They're not. You're not. I mean, I don't want to say that you're not special, but there are people who love the same things that you love. So don't feel afraid, because you'll always find an audience on YouTube. You'll always find an audience on the internet.
Yeah, and sorry for not talking for a little bit, but where are we? Kind of need to be caught up.
Andre is talking about it, and I'm basically taking up all his time because I'm a jerk.
All right, so we're still on the same. Okay.
What is the timer?
20 minutes.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
All right.
So
do you think? Okay. And then how about I don't know, popularity tips?
yeah, that's one thing I was thinking about. I was thinking about subscribers. Because people ask that all the time, they want to go. That's one thing that sort of annoys me. People ask, "How do I get subscribers?" Listen,
well, sub for sub obviously isn't the way to go.
Obviously, any form of spamming for subs it will not gain you anything. It won't. It will just equal doom and death and destruction. But the whole point being is, if you don't mind me going first on this one, all
right.
My whole theory about it is, and I've seen this, is that if you make good content, the subscribers will come. You can sit there and you can try your hardest to go and be friendly, be kind. You sit there, you leave nice comments on everyone's videos. That's what I always hear everyone say. But the number one rule is make sure that you have content that people will want to watch. And I know that sometimes I may not have content that people may not want to watch, and I've come to an understanding of that. But as a whole, you have to sit there and you have to make sure that you can get people to come to your channel, but what makes them want to stay is the question.
Yeah.
But of course they always do make valid points in terms of be kind to people. Don't sit there and be a troll. Trolls will not be on the number one on YouTube unless they're Fred. Don't go and just be like I said. It all comes, I think, with time. I think that you don't it's like Andre made that valid point. Don't expect to get 1,000 subscribers off one video. Eventually, if you're good enough, you'll get some form of break. You will, and then everything's going to come in together, and it's going to be hard up until that point because you're thinking like, well, do people not like my videos? Is it just that I'm crappy? But eventually, I think everything, I've seen this happen with other people, not with me personally, but everything will just it'll all coincide at the same time, and you'll see this like magical thing where you'll sit there and a person who had 100 subscribers will all of a sudden have 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers.
Exactly. So is
something that I say. Sorry, Rock. I'm just gonna put one point. Some people actually don't like what my view of this, but I think that getting subscribers, doing Let's Plays, or getting subscribers in general on YouTube, getting famous, part of it is talent, but a major part of it is getting lucky.
That is a very valid point.
Because you gotta be lucky that people are going to watch your videos, and if you have the talent, sorry.
All right, Walrus. After you're
done,
I actually have things to say. Actually.
Okay, then I'm just going to finish this up. Like one person watches your videos, like you're talented, and he goes like, "Oh, watch this dude." Then like four dudes tell other four dudes that tell another four dudes. Bam! You had 1,000 views before you know it. But you got to be lucky to find the right person at the right time.
That's sorry, Rock. I know you have something to say. This is really fast. I think that coincides with what I say, as in, it's like what Andre says. Once you get that one lucky break, if you have quality content there, you'll be golden. So just wait for that one lucky break that you get.
Yep.
What were you saying, Rocky?
All right, now my turn. All right. Now, in my opinion, also, it's just that the LP community has just amounted to the fact that it also depends on who you know and where you're at, pretty much. Do you know the popular people, or do you know just somebody in particular? Practically any one of them could get you practically famous if you really, really think about it. It's just all about that. It's just all about timing. It's also all about the people that you know at the time, and also it obviously shows that that people are going to get down and dirty and actually have to start asking for shout-outs or something like that. This is just from what I've been seeing, and I'm not going to say names, because if I say names, then this channel's going to get trolled. So, yeah, it's just, words are wise.
But you make it sound like they have to go and ask for shout-outs. And frankly, you don't. You don't.
Well, you don't have to go and ask for shout-outs. It's something that's been, seen lately in the community.
Well, if it happens, it happens.
It's
looked so far down upon that it would just kill the person more than it would help them.
That's what I was gonna say. Asking for shout-outs is very looked down
basically
upon.
from what I've seen from some people, they befriend somebody really popular, and then basically eventually once they become close enough friends, the person will ask for a shout-out, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I don't mind. Since we're all good buds and blah blah blah. That's just from what I've seen lately.
Well, that's the same point. Well, but that to a certain extent, that isn't a shout out. That's just sitting there. That's just like in your videos when you give a shout out to the JFB. That's the same extent of me where I say, well,
no, but you guys don't ask for the shout out. I do it on my own, my own grounds.
But the whole
basically.
Well, I guess the whole point being is that I don't know if that's just sort of a thing friends do or whatever, but. Part of it, I just want to sit there sometimes because people ask this question so much that I just see it that I just want to sit there and I just want to say, listen, okay? Here, how about this? For a month, don't look at your subscriber base. Don't look at your views. Just upload videos and see if you can do that. See if you can do it where it doesn't matter whether or not you have 1,000 views, whether or not you're growing. Just sit there and say, and that's the point where you realize, listen, I'm doing this because I like it. But if you sit there and you say, well, I need to know, I don't want to upload unless I see I'm getting subscribers from this, then that's the point we need to realize. I probably shouldn't be doing this anymore. Because I'm not doing it for me. I'm not doing it to have fun. I'm doing it so I can sit there and get popular. And that's not how you get popular. That's the polar opposite of how you get popular. So that's sort of a thing that I've always... I actually did this for the last month. I didn't go and look at my subscriber base. And guess what? When I came back, it wasn't that different. But was I okay with it? I was fine with it. Because you know what? I had realized something. I had realized that there was a certain element of LPing that I just enjoy. It's not because I want the subscribers, that's part of the reason why I started. It's just because I want to do it, and that's
just because you want to do it, exactly.
And that's how
it's just come out to. It's just the LP community back in the day was just people finding you. Now, pretty much it's amounted to who you know, and if they're you pretty much associate with them. They're like, oh, this guy's got good content. I'm gonna go subscribe to this guy. That's just what it's amounted to. Before it was never like this. Just up to now, up to probably a year ago, up to now, it's been like this. Day in, day out. You can't really prevent this or any of the sort. People are just going to befriend bigger people just to use them for their own, just for their own personal gain. That's just what the LP community has amounted to. And frankly, I honestly am disappointed about it.
But I don't know, because you make it sound like it's accepted, like there's nothing to change it now. There is. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Well, there is something, but
there is things you can change.
But that's like a rare opportunity nowadays that people actually find you for you. They don't no big you any help whatsoever.
But you'll sit there and you see these people and they do that, and they have a semi-high subscriber, and they have 15,000, 20,000 subscribers, but they're not 150,000 subscribers. They're not, let's say, 80,000 subscribers. Because you want to know what? Those people, sure, they will get help from other people, but you know what they're also going to happen to them? They're going to constantly be compared to the person that they got shouted out from. That's what's always going to be happening. They're always going to be compared. And frankly, a lot of times, if a person has a favorite, it's going to be their favorite. So they're always going to be just under. They're always going to be number 2. In regards to, like, let's say, Chugga gives me a shout out. I get 30,000 subscribers. Me and Chugga are like BFFLs. And all the subscribers come from Chugga. Guess who they're going to always compare me to? Chugga. And guess what? If you have a Chugga fanboy, if you've ever encountered any Chugga fanboys, there's no way I'm ever going to beat Chugga. So you will sit there and you can be moderately successful at LPing by doing that, but you will not be as successful as you could possibly be by just being yourself and just letting them come to you.
That's just how it's been, pretty much. You only get lucky if you just, Basically, it's just hard to get popular now since there's so many people, and there's so many people in the community
Well, I don't know. Well, I
that it
don't
just
know if
overflows.
I don't know if it's hard per se, because this is the thing I always hear NCS say this. In his first year and a half of LPing, he only had like 90 subscribers. I mean, it's not like it's super hard. I mean, it's not like it's any harder now to get viewers than it was back then. In fact, we have a bigger audience to look at. But it's just the fact of people now, they sit there and they see the successful people, so they're sitting there and they want to reach for that, so they want to go try to get there as fast as possible, instead of sitting there and just doing it for themselves.
Exactly.
And Andre, did you have any more,
but,
more to say?
at the moment, we can't really do anything about it. It is what it is, and that's pretty much how it's going to have to be, unless...
But Andre, did you have anything else to say? Because you kind of got cut out of this conversation.
No.
Alright, sorry.
You all picked very valid points, and I'm down with everything you guys said. Actually.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you guys want? Final thoughts? Final thoughts on anything? Just to summarize. How about this? If you could sit there and see all of LPers, every LPer in existence, and you had one statement to make to them, what would you say?
I'd say you guys, to contribute to our, the thing we were just talking about. Also, another good tip to actually getting famous is you need to start early. That's another thing. NTS, Chugga, all of them got famous because they started early. They're the ones that built their own foundation in the community, which got popular as of today, Mm-hmm. You need to start early, pretty much. What was that saying? Early bird catches the worm or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much how it's being seen as right now. NCS is only popular because he started back in 2007, and it's the year 2011 now. And of course, he's popular now because he started early. He built the foundation that is his channel by doing a lot of games that nobody had LP'd at the very moment, which is why every time want to watch a video related.
Can I discuss that really fast? The word overrated LP. It's me and Andre just had a discussion about the word overrated, and it's just. I don't understand it because if you're doing it for the views, then don't do it. But that's not being overrated. That's just you being a selfish little jerk. But if say the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker Solid, my favorite game of all time, I did it. I had to stop halfway through because my dazzle broke. But I started doing it, and I didn't do it because I thought this is going to get me a lot of views. I did it because I love the game. So if you love the game and tons of people have already done it, go for it. It does not matter. Because if you love it enough, you will differentiate yourself enough to make it work.
Yeah. But other than that, that's pretty much what we all need to say.
And Andre, your last statements?
Oh yeah, Walrus's last statements.
Well, I don't really have a really last statement because I think we covered everything that.
I'm saying, but if there's one important thing, there's the one important thing that you want to yell, the most important point that we have discussed so far, what would it be? If you could yell one thing to the LP community.
The most important thing is, be entertaining and differentiate your friends from your foes. Have your friends close and your enemies closer.
It's like battle.
And also if you ever get famous one day, always stick to your roots. Never forget about them. Otherwise, you're nothing better than an overrated person.
And just do it for fun.
Otherwise, you'll end up like Rocky.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey! I still talk to you guys. All right, shut up, man.
But let's.
I'm sorry, Rocky. I just had to say it.
I know, bro.
But
I know.
Anyways, so and my final statements, I guess, would be, just remember to have fun with it. That's the most important thing. Just have a good time.
Have fun with it. Don't if
you're
just doing this for one thing and one thing only, don't just quit. Just drop dead right now and don't even do it. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Get off. No, get out of here.
So I guess that will bring us to the end of the podcast. Thank you all so much for watching this 33 minutes of us being incredibly cocky little jerks.
We'll see what we can do with editing. But other than that, later, folks.
Yeah, and thank you all for watching us be incredibly cocky little jerks telling you how to do stuff that we probably fail at. But that's a whole nother point of conversation. So, without further ado, this is FuYoMama,
RockedSolid,
and
a guy.
Disappointment.
666, aka Andre the Walrus. Anyways, signing off.
Andre the Marine Mammal.
You know what? Yeah, whatever. Later.
We're surrounded by idiots.